teaching English. That's what I thought my calling was. That's what I used to do, but not anymore. Now, I deal in drugs. My customers are my students, and the people that give me the money are their parents. Because my source is so unmanageable, you might say it's plastic. I can't always get them the drug they want, but I usually do. My purpose, of course, is to make them addicted. Funny, most of them were addicted to something like English when they're children. They might have hooked up with a foreigner, traveled abroad. In fact, I'm sure this drug is more common in Australia, Thailand, Philippines, maybe the US, but maybe not the UK. Addicted as kids, but then high school teachers got them off it sometimes by force. My job is to get that monkey back on their backs. So what does this drug do? Well, when the slide changes, we'll find out. The drug I supply them with now does exactly the same thing as amphetamines, cocaine, nicotine, morphine. One shot, they feel good. They feel like they can do anything. I feel good too, because I'm also a user. What does it do? Well, the two big ones are, it gives you the feeling, I gotta have it. And that was good. Or sometimes the opposite order, which is why it's addicting. That was good, so I gotta have it. Downside, exuberance, falling in love, extreme sports, heavy shopping, chocolate. All of these are downsides. And then withdrawal, well, my video of Michael J. Fox didn't come out here. But you get the shakes without it. Depression, obesity, and in extreme case, death, because you have no desire to eat, because you have no desire to do anything without this. But then the good side, the holy grail of teaching. With this in your classroom, you get total attention. Students are engaged. They're feeling good. There's deep learning going on, and a hunger for more. Do you get this in your classroom very often? With my drug, you can do it. I promise. You want it, don't you? Of course you do. Would you pay money for it? Steal it? Kill for it? Give up your family, job, and even your life for it? Don't laugh, because people do every single day. But I'll give you some for free afterwards. Almost free. A simple hug. So, you probably want to know what this drug is, and maybe you've already figured out it's not really a drug, it's a neurotransmitter called dopamine. The most addictive drug known to man and woman. Can't get it past the blood-brain barrier very easily, but it's already there, so it doesn't matter. You know, we think of the brain as being like a computer, but that's wrong. Because the brain's really more like a pharmacy, with over 1,000 hormones and neurotransmitters in its stores, all produced on site. Yeah, oxytocin, dopamine, cortisol, all those things from the brain. Oh yeah, there's one more side effect. One we got from Herr Candle, which is learning. And he got a Nobel Prize for it. When a synapse fires repeatedly, dopamine is released, and dopamine is a key ingredient in this modulatory system that causes more synapses to be formed in the brain. So, look at how the dopaminergic system goes from the movement part to the thinking part and down to the emotional part. Prepare their brain for learning by making them feel good and release dopamine. Your class should be a high, not a low. And here's a new finding. Dopamine in the prefrontal cortex causes better cognitive processing. And women, because of estrogen, have higher natural levels of it. So, women are smarter than men, hands down. You can clap. On the other hand, don't get cocky about it. Dopamine works on a Yerkes, Bates, and curve. So women are here at the optimal level already, but a little bit of stress throws the amount of dopamine up. It throws women out of the optimum and men into it. So stress is good for men. It makes them smarter, and it makes women dumber. Well, dopamine is the drug that leads to all the holy grail of the classroom. And how do you get it? Well, you might start by focusing, instead of comprehensible input, compelling input. And maybe give up on looking at the language syllabus so much and look more at language satisfaction. Because it's that feeling good, our brains are built to remember things that make it feel good. So instead of explaining, standardizing, delivering facts, how about telling stories, personalizing, delivering feeling? Because that's what works. Oops. So, language is the key. I'm not kidding, there's anything happening here in just a second. So language is the key. But language can go into any container. Find the content that excites them, that touches them, that scares them, that goes to their hearts, that creates emotion, and language them away. And they'll retain much more of it. Well, I suppose we're getting them hooked on this drug is going to be the thing that will really make them learn the language. But maybe getting hooked is what it's all about. So thank you very much.